Now, this reading is going to be about Nicki Minaj and whatever it is that has, of course, happened in Manchester and how she went to jail and the whole sabotaging and the manipulation around everything surrounding the situation. Oh my God, that day was hectic. I was watching her, and I'm sure me and millions of fans, and of course, like thousands of barbs and everything. Everybody's watching, everybody's anxious, scared. Other people was rejoicing. Of course, division in everything and whatnot. Um, but I was, picking up on her energy heavily that day. Like from her being super anxious to her almost nearing panic attacks and just having to calm herself and her shaking, how we saw her shaking in the live, in this on the Instagram lives and whatnot, and it was just a mess. Like those were one of the longest hours that I have experienced with her. Like, we were just sitting here watching everything unfold, and she was the one living it. So, of course, we can't even imagine how she was feeling. So, this is going to be a check in or a checkup on her to see how it is going and, you know, everything that is surrounding most situations and most genre energies with her. Um, and let's hope that nothing too crazy is, going on because godly. The last reading I've done on her herself, it was around the Met Gala, and I've said that she was looking super tired, super exhausted, and off. But not many people can just easily pick up on that. I mean, of course, you can see her just being quiet, reserved, shy. You'd be like, of course, she's tired from the tour, but at times it just doesn't take geniuses to just see how it is and what's going on. I've said in the reading that she is needing a cleanse, a spiritual cleanse ASAP. Like she needs that so bad because everything is just going south with her mentally and spiritually. And I've said that, all the hexes talk and all the like the spells and like the witchcraft talk and whatnot is very present within her energy now. I wouldn't say curse, I would say hexes, I would say some magic is done, of course. It doesn't take a genius to actually see that too, especially, like spiritual people and whatnot. But, yeah, she needs a spiritual cleanse and she needs to actually tighten up the professionalism on or within the people around her because lots of unprofessional sorry, I was gonna say unprofessional and unfinished shit is just happening around her everywhere and surrounding her. So, she needs to toughen the fuck up, but who you telling? So this is going to be a reading on Nicki Minaj and everything surrounding this. So let's just get it. I was just, of course, shuffling the cards to see what is going on. I got two cards, and those are heavily representing her marriage. Now, do I want to get into that? Yes and no, because that requires a whole other reading on this whole shit and this whole connection, this whole marriage, this whole relationship. But it's always the same thing. And being sneaky, lots of aggressiveness, malice, sneakiness, off energy. I don't want to say cheating, but cheated. Lots of other shits, but what the fuck? Lots of anxiety, lots of just mental imprisonment, and lots of other shits going on, and just the need to take control and everything of that sort. And it's always almost the same shit as I always say in the readings regarding her marriage. I'm going to link, of course, the playlist of her readings, and I think the last reading I have done on her as well because I think I said something about her energy and whatnot, but I haven't said anything crazy. But I think I will just link the playlist and just call it a day. I remember. Okay, so the first thing jumping, or like the first card jumping is the Hierophants in reverse, and it kind of shows how, it feels, how it feels for her to be just outside of her home country or her homeland or just outside of her comfort zone and how alone she felt there. There are many things coming through. How she felt all alone in a foreign country and how she felt like, how she understood on another level how privileged other people of different skin colors are and how it was going on with her. There's also, well, not her understanding this, but there's also a lot of confusion that was going on. There is also that rebellious act that she always does. Her just standing up for herself and just not shutting up anymore, and just really not enduring all this in silence, and just being outspoken and being loud is seen as an act of rebellion, and is seen as an act of, like, you have to pay for this, and you have to pay for everything that you have been saying and for all of your deeds, which is something that is kind of catching up to her now, because people within the industry, like the higher ups within the industry, are feeling like, it is within their power and it is within the time, like the right time for them to actually start doing so for her when she's not. Because I'm seeing like planes and traveling and tickets and just being abroad. When she's not there, it's easier for them to corner her because it's not the same as in it is in America, which is kind of crazy. Because what the fuck do they mean? Like, my God, like trying to corner someone outside of their comfort zone, or like wherever they are, and just trying to create all those problems to just scatter their energy even more and frustrate them even more is malicious. Veil, yeah, vain, evil, vile. Yeah, that's what the fuck I was just saying. My God, my mind is super jumbled. But yeah, there is that too. Yeah, definitely. People, of course, when she said about what she said about her management just messing up her money, stealing from her, pocketing lots of other money from her too. She meant that, and it is true. But that is not the only thing going on, and that is not the only thing that she is needing to be noticing, and that she is needing to be aware of or be cautious of, because there is a lot of other shit that is going on around her. But since she is on the move, she's not fully aware of it, and lots of. I hate to say this, but there is something here about a lot of shit is going to keep hitting until she actually does listen, until she actually sits down and just sees shit through and sees shit for what it truly is. It's not like it's like they want her to have like that wake up call, or like see that, oh, it's your karma catching up to you. That is how they view it, as in, like, how fucking dare you to just like try and stand up to us, or like stand up against us, and think that you can just have that made up mind of your own without uh, without us just, actually paying you back for that shit. And it's crazy because they waited for so long, until now, for them to just make this happen, because they know that it is, they know. Nikki said this best. She said that, they want to hit her where it hurts the most, which is, her fan base, her money, her prestige, I'd say, her image. They try to tarnish that. Yeah, they try to tarnish that. They try to just make you feel like, they're the breadwinners for this. They're trying to make it look like they're the ones who are just supplying her and doing everything for her. I mean, they kind of like, how I say, okay, let's say that there is a tree, and there are like lots of branches there, and of course, like different birds are sitting on each branch, and like one of the higher branches, there are like some, um what's the name of those birds? I can't remember the name. Oh my God, wait, I have to remember the name. um the name of those birds, like the blackbirds. It starts with an R. I'm sorry if you hear me type, but I kind of have to see this bird, a raven. Yep. So sorry, sorry for the typing or whatever, but yeah, like, because that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like the industry as like black ravens sitting on top of like the Nicki tree. Like Nicki has planted a huge tree that is blossoming and that keeps growing and everything. And now they're just sitting there and nitpicking at the branches, and like really just hitting that shit little by little and piece by piece, watching that crumble and waiting for it to kind of like hit Nikki's head. But they're not doing it all at once. They're just doing this piece by piece. And I keep hearing that one song, like piece by piece. They're doing it piece by piece, trying to break her down even further and even more piece by piece, because somehow that is bringing them more joy and more satisfaction to see that happen. And it's something about them wanting to kind of just ruin her reputation because I'm hearing Nicki saying, this ain't gonna happen. I need to salvage my reputation. It's something about her who is always standing her ground that keeps rattling them even more and that pisses them off even more. It's like I'm hearing someone say like this bitch just does not give up. She does not understand and she does not give up. And it might get okay, so this can get Nikki to actually like snap out of it and kind of use this to her advantage, as in creatively speaking, as in sharpening her pen, as in like dropping some fire ass songs if she wants to, and working harder in order for her to prevail, in order for her to do something for herself, in order for her to stack up more money for whatever it is that is to come, because they're not going to let up on her and they're not going to ease up on her at all. They want her to kind of just, that's crazy. I don't want to say that, but they want her to just move out of the industry and they just want her to stop doing everything that she's doing because she is holding out everything for them, and she's kind of like, to them she's kind of messing up the circulation of everything and how it's going. It's like nothing can go past her. It's like they underestimate her, but at the same time sometimes they overestimate her and they don't know where to stand up with her, or like where to stand exactly with her. There is no in between. It's either at times they just really see her as a lower person there, or at times they just see her as someone who really just, whose people, um, sorry, they see her as someone whose approval other people need to seek. And that's something that has them fucked up because, like she doesn't have that much power. We are the ones with the keys. We are the ones with the power. And to them doing this and just reacting this way and doing everything in this way is allowing them to just rejoice and feel like they're doing something. So they are the ones dropping lots of money. So when we say that, like, well, not we, but when people say that, oh, Rock Nation is behind this, no, because if it was, I asked before, like on the day that this was happening and taking place, I said, was that, she's doing, Rock Nation's doing. No, he does have loss of power and he does, mess up her stuff sometimes, if not, most of the time or whatever. But he does not have that amount of pull or power to actually do this amount of sabotage and like abroad or just all over the place and all over the world. Granted, he is a respected man and whatever, like he has lots of access to lots of stuff, but he's not that higher up. If even back then, like, he was super fucking nervous and anxious to just speak up against the motherfucking Grammys, how the fuck is gonna do this? Like, please let's be for real. And it is also not her management because her management was fucking stealing from her. So it's not her management. Yep, it's not her management. It's not Rock Nation either. It's people in the industry that are feeling like, it's something from the past because there is the Six of Cups. It's something from the past that keeps haunting her and that's like has triggered a lot of people and has rubbed them off the wrong way. That has always like it's something about them plotting this for so long and trying so many different ways and so many different tactics to just make her fall, have like a walk of shame and like a fall of grace, but that does not happen because, as I said, like, well, not as I said, but as we all know, as we all can witness, she's a very protected woman. She is, very highly favored. So, of course, whatever shit that be happening to her, she still prevails. Of course, she takes the fucking hit like a champ. At times, she just triggers her and whatnot, and she just goes, you know, buries them just like crazy and whatever. I mean, who the fuck wouldn't? We're humans at the end of the day. And it just hits. When shit just hits the fan, a lot of shit happens. And that is something that there's just like rejoicing. It's like whenever she would just like rant or just speak about something or whatever, they would be very happy thinking that they have done it once again. But she proved them wrong all over again, and she does what she does best. So as I was saying also, this can just really help her in just fueling her creativity and fueling her passion to write more, to prove to herself again that she still got it, that it's all worth it and whatever. But of course, if she just doesn't do that, then she just wouldn't. But as I was saying, again, once again, um, that this is going to create. Oh, sorry. That this is going to create a lot more of tension because it's a toxic place where they just want to. It's kind of like those food chains or whatever, and just the rankings like in the jungle where people just think that they're just the ones biting everything off, while just a small little animal would just prove to them that they're not shit and that they're smarter. But they really just want to harm her in more than one foul way, and they would just do anything in their willpower to actually do so. Like they wouldn't stop at nothing. They can even just like hurt her. They could try to hurt. Sorry, they could try to hurt her family. They could try to go after the people that she loves. If it's not, well, I mean, I wouldn't say like the fans, but as I was saying, like the people that she loves, from the her fans, from the family, from her closest family, um, from her reputation, from her money, from her image, from everything else. It's like I have no issue embracing the bad guy role and everything, but at times it does get to her. But this can serve as a new era for her, or like a new rebirth, if she doesn't ignore the actual signs of her needing to acknowledge everything, and her needing to put in the work and just stick to the plans that she has in mind. It's either like she can ignore this and it can get more serious, or she can address this and it can get worse. It's like whatever decision she makes or whatever decision she chooses, it is still going to be biting her in the ass, because this is a cycle, and this is an area that she, well, not an area, but this is something that she has to face, and that is something that she has to endure in order for her to gain a newer perspective, in order for her to realize much more stuff. Because she is having those types of like enlightenments about the situations, but not fully, because she's not seeing the full picture just yet. And in order for her to see all that, she needs to stop. Of course, she needs to allow herself to feel all this, but she also needs to stop just downplaying her emotions and just really not seeing all this shit through, because it is only going to not help her fully. So let's see how is Nicki Minaj feeling about all this. Yeah, as I said, again, the judgment part. She's trying to just, keep making her money. She's trying to still, yep, see, yeah, she's trying to, she's trying to still make all that money. She's trying to still, make all those compromises, and trying to just do everything right, to kind of take her mind off of everything that has taken place. If you ask her about stuff, or if you ask her about how she's doing everything, she's gonna be telling you, like, it's whatever. I am strong. It's past. Thank you so much for praying for me, for loving on me, for doing all this and all that and all that. But she's not going to tell you about the tears that she cried. Of course, we saw her, and she was feeling the hits. She's not going to tell you about the regrets and the emotions that she was dealing with, and how she felt, and how triggered she has become, how scared she was. She's not going to tell you how she horribly felt there, felt unboxed, felt trapped, felt like she was on her own, like nobody was there, like they were going to get her. She felt like her paranoia kind of finally paid off, which is kind of which has kind of given her like a little bit of a sick type of joy, because like I was right. She sees the people who are trying to give her a hand as people who are just waiting, like if she just kind of just puts her hand out there, who are going to smack it or like bite her off. She should be extremely careful about something that has to do with her finances, though. Again, even if she claimed that even if she said, not claimed that, sorry, even if she claimed or said that she has fired those people from her management and whatnot, there are still people around her who are still taking her money, and who are still stealing from her, and who are still doing so right under her nose, but she can't see it, or she is not fully seeing it yet, because this person is very manipulative, very sneaky, and she is yet to realize this and to see that fully. and she's not. It's like this person just presents her with a golden opportunity, but she can't see how much of a snake he is. Like she's always, yeah, it's a male. It could be an earth sign or a fire sign. Um, she's always saying or rapping about, how to cut that grass because there are snakes there or snakes in the camp or whatever. But it is true. It is still true to this day. Ever since that Nice to Meet You verse to this day, it is still very true. And she is still not, see? Mm. Even the ambulance, sirens, and whatnot. Danger. It is lots of danger. There's a lot of danger surrounding her finances because they're trying to milk out her money for whatever it's worth, but she's not really seeing it yet. It's like she's seeing only the money being presented to her, but she's not seeing the full intent behind it. And if she actually does take some sort of deal or let those people just take more of her money, she's going to find herself in a debt situation, or she's going to find herself in a situation that is going to require her to drop a lot of other money, or for her to just get something, or have some sort of like other deal that is going to cost her even more money than what was taken from her. She really does need to have a moment by herself and to get that moments by herself because she needs to care for herself. There is that feeling of hollowness and shallowness and not really just finding her way back. There is a lot of pressure on her that is making her feel regretful. There's something here about her feeling regretful over something, feeling regretful over not communicating something properly, over not seeing something properly that has cost her and that has made her miss out on many other opportunities, golden ones, and has made her miss out on so many other deals. It's something about her just feeling at loss and just feeling very graceful, or feeling like there's something here that has failed her, and feeling like she also has failed herself. She's completely allowed to feel sad, but at the same time, it's like when she is knowing or like when she's aware that she's feeling sad, she just goes into like yuck, like ew, yikes, I don't want to feel that, and she just shuts her own emotions down. So at times when we see her kind of like ranting or just being extra bubbly and extra blabbering, it's kind of a distraction for her to just not really um deal with all those thoughts. But it is very consuming because I am getting a strong headache in my head. It's very much consuming her, and she needs to allow herself to feel all that shit instead of just running away from all this. And even if she wants to deal with all those emotions, she's not dealing with them in a healthy way, and that is something serious. I mean, who am I to talk? Because if anything, I am also like her sometimes, but I try not to be though. I try not to be too negative and I try not to let those thoughts consume me. But there is something here about her just kind of feeling like, I don't want to feel imprisoned in my own mind anymore. Her sitting there on her own and just having to deal with all this just made her really, like, it's of course made her very angry and pissed off. And it also made her feel kind of like agitated because, like, I don't want to deal with that. And I don't want any other human being to ever feel that way again, you know? So let's see, what else can we get on Nikki? There's something here about her, yes, just, tapping in or locking herself into her working mode and trying to just do the most and just profits off of this and just work and work and work and work and do something that is going to take her mind off of just everything that's occurred and everything that has taken place. But there's also lots of hesitation and just holding herself back. Exactly what I've been saying. Her holding herself back and not allowing herself to feel her emotions, not allow herself to cry over this, and not allow herself to just really admit that she felt defeated and admit that she felt a certain type of way about all this. It's something about her needing to embrace all those types of, quote unquote failures in order for her to move forward. But Nikki is a very prideful woman, so it is always kind of an issue or a setback for her to actually admit that. Because if she doesn't admit it in her art, or if she doesn't admit it just to herself, then it doesn't help her out at all. And there is something here about her always wanting to prove a point and always wanting to just showcase the good side of stuff now in her music instead of just her just being raw and showing her passion and showing her true self like she used to do. It's something exactly raw emotions and pride and weak, feeling weak. It's something about her just wanting to prove a point to herself, or just like trying to speak out, speak things into existence within her music, and just like repeating it over and over again, just manifesting it and whatever, instead of just fully saying that, I'm dealing with a lot of shit. I'm not okay. I'm pressured. I need to do this and this and that. But she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to acknowledge that just yet. And she doesn't want to give other people the satisfaction for all this and for them to see her that way. So she would rather just at times fake it until she makes it, because there's something here. Yeah, see, I just knew I was tiptoeing around this just because I don't want to talk about her marriage or her personal life like that. Because when I do, people just be on my dick. I'm like, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just talking about her energy, and I'm just feeling it. I'm talking about it, and I'm being shown what I'm being shown. Like, you can't blame me. Can't blame the bitch for just being real. But there's something here about her not wanting to acknowledge how. See, my God. Okay, fuck it. Let's just go. There's something here about her not wanting to acknowledge how weakened the bond has become within her family, within her marriage, how it has drastically changed from the first month or the first year until now, or up till now. There's a lot of changes that have happened and that have taken place that is making it feel like, we're not gonna make it no more. But at the same time, she's refusing to acknowledge that. It's like when she looks back, she sees all that storm, all those stormy times. She sees all those clouds. She sees how it's raining on her parade, how it's raining on that beautiful family picture, big happy family picture that she is painting, or that she is trying to make people believe and see. And when she looks ahead, she sees her pride. She sees people writing up all those comments. She's seeing people saying, oh, I told you so. We've always known that this wasn't going to last. And that is something that is kind of fucking holding her back from just closing out those cycles, because I don't want to give people that satisfaction to just have an I told you so moment on me. So there is that. Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, let's see what's more is going to be happening for the rest of 2024 for Nicki Minaj, because I really do want to know what is going on with her. Um, there's something here. I don't want to give out, like my private account, because mostly just be really talking shit there and just posting myself. But I have done a reading on this in fucking January when this has happened. I even did one like you know back then too, on how it's my goal, and I said that there is going to be lots of stress that she is going to undergo, that is going to be happening everything. But I said in my own reading that, like back then in January, that 2024 will be a monumental year in both good and bad, a balanced out one. She just needs to play her cards right instead of being all over the place. She tends to be super frustrated with herself, but not for the proper reasons. That's what I said at the end of the reading. Because I did say that it's going to be, a mixture of both the worlds for her, and it's that there's something that's going to happen too. You know, something's going to happen, and something also that's going to be happening is just will be preparing her or the world or the public for something that might take place in like 2025 or 2027. So it could be divorce. See, unfairness, something unlikely, something bad that is going. Well, not something that's like unlucky, or something that is unlikely. That is kind of very surprising for people. This is going to take, well, of course, like her and the fans and everybody by surprise. It's something about like something that has to do with like progress and moving forward, and something that has to do with like some of the choices that she's been making. Now, is it her marriage? Tension within the home, of course. Yeah, obviously. But yeah. It has to do with her marriage, has to do with lots of stuff like that. So there is that too. So let's see what I wanted to be asking. Oh yeah, what is going to be happening around 2024 for the rest of 2024 for Nicki? So let's see the rest of 2024 for Nicki Minaj. Oh well, there is a lot that is going to make her feel out of her element that has to do with her personal life or with her husband as well. There's something here about the need to take control over this because giving too much power and too much control to other people um over you or like around you is never a good thing. And there is something here about her just feeling anxious. There's something here that has to do with like infidelity. I'm sorry, but whatever. Like I can't decide. That's what I'm seeing. There's something here about. I mean, I'm seeing her. I'm seeing her, and I'm seeing like the word infidelity. I'm seeing contracts. I'm seeing something that has to do with the movie that she was in, like the other woman. So there is some type of coy play within the marriage. I don't know from who. I'm not gonna say from who though, because sometimes it can be tricky. But I'm not being shown who though. I'm sorry, but being serious, I'm not being shown who, but I am seeing that there is lots of uncertainties, lots of doubts, lots of just feeling of like I need to control something, I need to do this, I need to tend to the situation or not. There are definitely other people who are all up in her business and prying, trying to give her some bad press, trying to get her to just be out of character and to get out of control and trying to come at her from all sides. It's like all sides. From the happy home, from her family, from her character, from her image, her reputation, from her workplace, from a lot of stuff that she has built from the ground. People trying to come at her from everywhere, trying to, pry and be all up in her business and be noisy and just trying to do a lot and trying to say a lot to just get her to react and to get her to do a lot of stuff that is kind of going to be painting her into another picture or like painting her under a certain light and under a certain image that just doesn't make it look like the prettiest one, and there is something here about um a lot that has to do with like blocked creativity also, like wanting to do something, wanting to get out of this and wanting to get out of this mood or like headspace, but not being able to. There is something here about her femininity also just kind of being at odds with her, which is, like at times it just means that she is not dealing properly with her emotions, she's not dealing with them at all, or just not properly and not really allowing herself to grow or like have that type of deeper understanding, because there is a lot. She is a very spiritual person, so she should know this, but she's turning a blind eye on this and to this, and it is not helping her. She is blocking herself from just seeing everything that she should be seeing and she's supposed to be seeing. Therefore, it is not in her favor. There's something here about her having to deal with a lot of heartbreak that is coming to her home or her family, her having to deal with herself and within herself. There's something here about like stinginess and fake friends and lots of gossip, or lots of envy surrounding her, lots of jealousy, her just being super indecisive. So as I said before, like in my own reading, before I even just did this one or whatever, is this is going to be a very interesting year for her, because there is a lot going on and there is a lot this is taking place because she is not allowing herself to just learn the lessons. She is being super stubborn and she's not seeing the full things. If she allows herself to actually feel something and if she allows herself to acknowledge everything and admit a lot of those failures that she is just not admitting with herself, then there is a chance for her to learn. But those cycles are going to keep repeating themselves until she learns this one way or another, whether it's the hard way or a softer, smoother way, or smoother way for her and for herself. Yeah, hesitation, lots of stormy times, lots of restlessness, lots of stuff that has to do with her family. There's something here about lots of articles that might try to paint her or like her family or something under a bad light. Um, and there is something here that is going to have to this is going to happen, like this is going to have to do with her pride again, with her uh weakness. It's kind of like they study her and they try to do everything in their possibility or in their will to just hurt her and harm her in many more ways than one. Just trying to harm her, just trying to stand in her way, trying to. It's kind of like, when there is black and white and they're just trying to blacken those white spaces. It's like whatever it is that she considers a comfort space and a white space or just a safe space for her, they're trying to tarnish that even more to just draw her out and kind of just bait her into taking all those baits and into doing something that is going to give them that leverage, or that is going to give them that opening that they're craving, because this is a devilish plan that they've been um, having for so long, that is going to just create even more tensions and blockages for Nikki, and that is going to create a lot of issues within her home, or like within her own life, because there's a lot of choices that she needs to make and she's not acknowledging those, and she's just diverting her attention elsewhere instead of really seeing through all those issues that she's having. um but yeah, there is a lot that is just happening or that could be taking place, but there's something here about her trying to gain some mental clarity, and there's also something here about her winning something and getting something, but there's a lot of confusion and sneakiness going around, a lot of truths that might get exposed about someone being extremely flirty, someone just delivering other messages to other people who are not supposed to be seeing that. So sneaky people, fake friends, fake husband, sorry. um but there is something here about I don't want to say that because that is bad, and I don't want to wish that, you know. Plus, it's very unpredictable, and you can't really fucking say something like that about certain situations. But there is a lot that might be taking place or might be happening, physically trying to hurt someone close to her or dear to her or harming them. Let's see, is that true? There is some truth to it, but I don't think it is to that, harmful, serious extent. If and if, that shit is done right, and if uh, Nikki just really, I'm hearing something about like if Nikki kind of like backtracks, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to wish that on anybody or her, or just really try to see that, but because I'm not seeing that. But there's something here about them trying to harm her from the bottom of her heart and trying to do something to her, which includes, something that has to do with her family, close family. Seeing, like her kid, her mother, and of course they can't go through her husband because they know that he doesn't hold that proper sentimental value, as sick as twisted as this should sound, because they know that he is protected and he's nothing more than a pawn to them in this that she created and puts right there. Wow, that's crazy. But let's see, will they succeed in doing this? No. Oh my god, thank god. But I wouldn't say that they wouldn't try to do a lot, but they would literally do anything and try to do anything in their willpower to actually get through Nikki and get at her, even if it means just hitting below the belt and just doing a lot of uncharacteristic shit and characteristic shit that is going to be so fucking like abnormal and just crazy, because this just shows you how deep the hatred and envy runs for people and how serious they can take this shit. It's like if we can't take her down, then we can take people closest to her. If she doesn't care about herself that way or that much, then we can just do whatever it is to harm people around her or to harm the people that she cares about, because those are the key to that shit. But of course, as I said, they will not. Exactly, they will not prevail. That will only show people
how crazy that shit can get, and all this for money, all this for the privileges and the prestige of that shit, trying to harm innocent people and do shit like that for people who are not even there yet, trying to do all this shit on Nikki, all that shit, that can kind of make people just sympathize with her even more, or like make them kind of just feel a certain way about her and just see her under a certain positive light, or make them kind of just feel for her, and just grow a little bit softer on her. But at the same time, we know how Nikki is, and we know how she operates and whatnot, and she does not like shit like that. But there is something here about her needing to learn how to cooperate with other people and how to close out those cycles and circles, how to stop running into those circles and how to close out all those cycles that are not helpful for her. Because if not, then there is a lot more of just harm. Well, not well, somehow yes, and lots of the crazy shit that they are just preparing for her. Lots of insecurities, trying to leave her out in the cold, trying to give her a reality check by themselves. That's crazy. The industry is just wild as fuck. So when we say that Nikki is paranoid, she has good reasons to, because people are always trying to come at her and just nitpick at her and just do the most. And she needs to just have a tighter security around her. She needs to do better. She needs to check people who um, are coming to her house or like at her house. And she needs to learn how to differentiate between people who are serving her any good and people who are only burdening her. And in order for her to do this, she needs to start from her marriage to her connections to her friendships to people around her to the people that that she does business with and whatnot. But until then she's just gonna keep doing what she is going to be doing. But let's just hope for the best with success, because yeah, let's see how will Nikki be feeling. Will Nikki win? Because Nikki has to win. You know, it's her anthem to win again. Let's see. Will Nikki prevail at the end? Will Nicki Minaj prevail at the end? Yes. Oh my god, yes. I've never got so happy to see all those many yeses. But yes, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take, I feel, a while, a lot of time, but she'll get there eventually. Let's just hope that there won't be a lots of losses, a lots of those types of lessons that she's going to have to learn the hard way in order for her to achieve all this in one month. And let's just pray for the best. Let's just send lots of healing energy, lots of healthy stuff and whatnot. Well, not healthy stuff, but lots of healthy healing energy to surround her and to really just head her way, because she is needing that. I hope that this reading is taken with a grain of salt, because I do not have the energy to just like be dealing with a lot of that shit, honestly. And I just hope that of course, Nikki wins at the end of the day, because we wouldn't want to see her just getting all that and just having to deal with all those losses and just having to take that L publicly, or having to deal with everything of that sort like that again. And yes, I'm going to just go on again for a while and just do an updated reading, where hopefully, of course, as the energy varies a lot around, sorry, as the energies vary a lot around those times and around everything surrounding all those situations and whatnot, we can pick up on some better ones and some more positive or like lighter situations and subjects around Nikki and surrounding her, because it is never that serious or deep for people to just be so harmful and so evil. But yes, until then, I can always just like do another reading again on her marriage and whatnot, but I don't think I'm gonna do it now or anymore now. But I can do, of course, other subjects or other celebrities. If y'all have any suggestions, then please let me know. And until then, thank you for tuning in. Bye bye.